Could I ask you what Chabuddy G's party, if he was going to host a party, what would it look like?
I think it would be really weird and gross.
And
I think
would people come?
I think, you know what? It's so sad. I think Chabuddy's one of those guys where like he would probably make it look really tacky and expect loads of girls to come, and he'd probably have like, you know, waterproof sofas because he thinks it's going to be a huge orgy. But to be honest, I think probably only Steve's would turn up, you know, and it'll just be Chabuddy and Steve's doing Mandy all night and dancing to Gabba. So it's like, I think it'll be a really shit party.
With music, with like...
Gabba music. Really weird music.
Yeah.
Like bung around and Steve's and want to play some speed garage. And then, you know, it'll get weird. You know, he'll probably want Decoy to come. Decoy definitely won't come. He'll be like, I want a cool Jamaican guy to come to my party. Yeah, the party's really cool. We've got this kind of mixed race Jamaican guy coming, proper hot. That's what he would tell all the ladies around Hounslow. Yeah, shoot down if you want. Got a couple of black guys coming down. Really cool urban hip hop basketball style. And they'll be like, yeah, we're definitely not going to that.
We met at a really bizarre event in December. I think that was the first time we met. I think we may have met.
It was,
I think we may have met when we're really fucked.
Probably
in the past.
Because we have loads of mutual friends.
We have lots of mutual friends. So I think we may have met like years ago, but the first time we probably met was you became friends with Joe Halliwell in a green room at the Royal Albert Hall, which was like, is that a surreal moment for you? Or would you say those kinds of things happen to you a lot?
I think if it was 20 years ago, it would have been a surreal.
So you're desensitized now.
It's Spice Girls. Obviously, it's legendary. I would have been more excited to meet Scary Spice. I always fancied her.
Or Posh.
Never really fancied Posh. Yeah, I always thought. I like Posh personality, and I thought she's really funny. But as a kid, because obviously, literally, I was a kid, so we all did fancy Spice. We all had our favorite Spice Girl. Yeah, for me, it was always Scary Spice. I was like, she's so fit, and the fact that she was Northern as well, like that, because you know, growing up in West London, you just think all the foreign people are in London. Like, you know, when you're young, you're like, what? Where's that accent come from? No, it was really nice meeting Joey Halliwell. She was very interesting. She gave me her number within 12 seconds and said, you must call me. She went, message me your name and remind me your profession. And I was like, it's like meeting the Queen.
Yeah.
So I showed you, I texted Asim,
kind
the
of
comedian.
Vibe.
Yeah.
And then she sent you a picture of you two together at the event saying,
she did.
Have a good Christmas to you and your family.
She did. She's really sweet.
So you obviously had do you feel like you are like good when you meet? Do you feel like, I feel like people probably just always like love you?
No, I'll be honest with you, that day I was a bit fanboy, a bit icky with Ian Wright, because I've never met Ian Wright before and I love Wrighty. And for me, like I can meet like, you know, actors and all the musicians and I'm like all right with it. Even if I am a big fan, I'll be all right with it. But, you know, Wrighty's like, he's more kind of icon. You know, he really is nation's kind of, you know, a hero. What's it called? Nation's Faith?
National Treasure?
National Treasure.
Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Nation's Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Nation's
Such a fresh
Prince.
Nation's hero.
Yeah.
He's the hero of my heart. What? Number one hero, prince of my heart. No, I was a bit icky. I was icky with him.
There was a moment when I was in a conversation with him and then you came over and you were like, you were just going, yeah. Because we were talking about that video of him and his teacher. And then you got in there and then you just...
I know. My wife said I was a bit icky.
It wasn't icky. It was like, it was just making me laugh because I knew how much you wanted to
well, that's
make
what I mean.
Like a shot for it. And
that's
then you
cringe,
did successfully.
Though. No, I don't think you don't. I think he was a bit like,
I don't think so. Because I think it's just...
I think he thought I wanted to shag him or something. I had that energy, you know, groupie energy, kind of like, yeah, Ian. Oh my God, Ian. Yeah. Like I wanted to, you know, suck him off. When really, in a way, I did, but like,
in an energetic,
soulful way.
Like
in his aura kind of way. Normally, I'm completely fine with people because I just think it's like, you know this. When people just treat you normally, it's so much better than, you know. It's weird, and I get it. Like I get people who come up to me and they don't act. You don't act like yourself when you meet someone famous or someone you really admire. You act weird. It's not normal. So. You know,
have you ever acted like really weird with a fan?
With Ian. With a fan.
No, yeah.
Me with a fan.
Yeah, like I once got recognized in the street. This was so bad. And then I probably shouldn't be saying this. We'll probably have to go. I really needed a shit, like so badly. And then I got stopped by these two girls and they were like asking me all these questions. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm dying for a shit. I have to go. And I just ran away. And then I was like, that was so weird. Why did I do that?
Well, I think that's funny though. We can get away with it. Like if you do comedy, I feel like you could do anything. I'm normally not the weird one with the fans. I'm normally trying to make the situation less weird.
Yeah.
But one of the weirdest one I had was when I was having a piss.
Oh.
And this guy was like that next to me, literally could see my cock. And went Chabuddy! And he went, God. Oh my, pissing. His cock
was
in his
this in
hand.
a urinal?
Yeah.
Yeah. You weren't like on the street.
And there was other free ones there. So I know he clocked me and then came and pissed next to me.
Oh.
And he was like literally cock in one hand, picturing the camera in the other hand.
You're joking.
I wanted a selfie. And I was like, can I put my cock away first? So yeah, it's, for me, it's more about just trying to make it less weird for all of us.
Yeah.
But it's always nice, isn't it?
It's always nice. It's
One
so
day,
nice.
no one's going to give a shit. So you have to be grateful.
Exactly. It's so nice and don't take it for granted ever.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you get sort of, does it stress you out if you like go to a party or an event and people want you to be Chabuddy G? How's the balance of that?
Well, I think it all depends on like, kind of, it's like a respect thing. Like if you see, like I've definitely had people come up to me and be like, do the accent or do the voice, say peanut dust or like whatever. Like, and
You're
sometimes, while I'm naked. Yeah, like sometimes I'll indulge them. But a lot of the times I think as you get older, like I learn boundaries, and that's with everyone, with family, with friends, with fans. You have to let them know that, look, I'm with my family or I'll take a picture, but I'm not going to do a video in the voice. I'm out of character. It kind of all depends. But then it's like sometimes people come up to you with such love. I'm just like, I will do whatever you want because, you just see that energy. It's all about energy. I know that sounds wanky, but it's like
true.
Sometimes people come up to you a little bit aggressive, especially geezers, guys who are maybe drunk.
And a bit entitled to
it's an entitlement. And also there's a thing of like, because they think they know Chabuddy, because, people just nothing's a mockumentary, that, they have in-character social medias. So you kind of feel like they're real people and people think that, oh, Chabuddy's my mate because he's such a friendly character on TV. But in reality...
Also, there was a slightly blurred line of like, then you guys were doing shows and you were being him. So it is like...
Well, for the first, 5 or 6 years of People Just Nothing, we didn't do any out of character interviews, so no one even knew what we sounded like. It was a complete kind of commitment to the characters in the mockumentary. So the characters were so real. Like,
that's kind of. Did that ever get like confusing for you?
No, not for us, because we actually liked being everything character because it's a great mask you can hide behind. I can say anything as Chabuddy. Like I've said the most disgusting shit as Chabuddy. Honestly. Like, if you actually look at some of the stuff Chabuddy said, it's disgusting and it would get a normal man cancelled. But because it's Chabuddy and you don't believe anything he's saying and you know that it's all bravado, like, it's horrible. He in one of the episodes, he talks about doing sexual kind of role-playing as Princess Diana and Dodie during the crash. And it's so dark and it's all improv. And it's it's on the BBC.
And that was improvised.
That was improvised. And I don't know how that got in, but you kind of get away with it because it's Chabuddy. So
did that just come into your head in the moment?
Well, yeah.
It's quite inspired.
It was weird because I was in this kind of abusive relationship with this woman who was doing all these weird things to me, and it was quite racial. I was like,
really?
Sometimes she'd get me to role play as an Uber driver who's delivered her the wrong items and must be punished. And then, it's
and then you just
racial undertone. Then I was like, also
Dodie.
we do this thing where I'm Dodie and she's Diana and there's a car crash. It's really dark. So that kind of, you could get away with it because the tone of it was that this man is being kind of abused and he has to do these things. But yeah, the mask is amazing to do.
So when you then stopped being the characters, what was that?
That's more weird because then people are like, oh no, I kind of want don't do your real voice. I don't want, like, they believe it and love it so much, which in a way it's like it's a gift and a curse because people have watched it for so long. They don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to know Asim. Like, and I do honestly get that, but I'm just like, I love Chabuddy, and I know that for the rest of my life I'll be known as Chabuddy, even if I go on to do whatever I do or have done. I'm completely fine with that. If anything, I think
it's amazing.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and he was a creation of you.
But as a creator, I always want to do more and try more and take more risks. But
I
if
can't
I'm going to
believe
be
you're
called,
in industry. I haven't watched the new season, but that is sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really weird episode.
And apparently you're like a really serious character.
Yeah, I'm like really scary in it because I always play nice guys, and it annoys me because I want to play.
Did you go
prick.
to drama school?
No, none of us.
And so
did.
the transition from like being like, doing a very specific comedy character, then to doing other comedy bits, then when you do drama, how did you like learn to do that?
I think in a weird way, I think it comes from like writing as well. Like if you write, then it's like you understand characters. And also I'm just a massive movie guy. Like I studied film, like, I literally watch films and study films. And if you study and watch films and you study characters and mannerisms, and I just love characters.
Have you read the Al Pacino memoir?
No.
You have to read it. I'm obsessed with it.
I was just literally
it's
watching.
Made me go back and watch all of his films.
Right, I was rewatching Godfather actually with the missus, and it is just insane. And then I think I met this Cuban guy actually the other day, and we were talking about Scarface, and I was thinking, God, he was so brilliant in that film. And I asked him, like, you wouldn't be able to have an Italian American play a Cuban these days. It would have to be a Cuban man to play Tony Montana. But he was so good as Tony Montana. I love him. I think he's
You
so
will love
fantastic.
the book. I mean,
Really?
my friend, it's been driving my friends mad because it's all I've spoken about for like the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
But he tells so many stories and he's so honest, but also,
Okay.
But because then I watched The Godfather, having heard all of his stories about how like they wanted to fire him. Paramount didn't want him to play Michael Corleone. And so then they were trying to fire him. And then Francis Ford Coppola got them to film, the scene in the restaurant where he shoots the two guys in the first Godfather.
Yeah.
They got them to film that right at the start so Francis could show Paramount that he had it in him. But it's so interesting listening to like an actor that good talk about, because he was like, he had this whole plan. Anyway, it's an amazing book.
Okay, I'll check it out.
That kind of makes sense. So you sort of studied a lot of these.
Yeah, I just love film and I love character. I'm a real character guy. So I think, like all great films, they all have like okay storylines. Like I don't watch a film for the storyline. The thing that I think you really remember are characters. So, and I think that goes with every genre. So it's not, it's comedy, horror, drama. I think if you have good characters, that's the stuff that stays with you. So I like to study stuff, and I like to look at humans and what makes a character interesting or funny. If you can't sum it up in a few lines, then it's not a standout, memorable character.
Yeah.
It's kind of always come naturally to me. And I think with comedy and, comedians transitioning to do dramatic stuff, I always found it's an easier transition because there's so much tragedy in comedy anyway. There's a thin line. I mean, if you look at all our favorite comedy characters, they're quite depressing. Chabuddy is a very depressing character. I mean, he's a weird guy who lives in a trailer with a weird, Polish wife who cheats on him. And then he's a weird guy.
And he's also like, he's trying to prove himself so much.
He's so insecure. He's so lonely.
Yeah.
He's such a lot of them are like that. I mean, Brent, Partridge, these are all, Peep Show, Mark Corrigan. These are really pathetic characters. British as well. I think British, we really do that well.
Agreed. Because then when the American Office, I feel like Steve Carell's Michael Scott wasn't that kind of
They
depressing.
had to change him a lot. He's still amazing, but they had to change him and not make him this.
But I think Americans still would maybe find that like, it's too sad.
It's too sad. It's too dark and cringy for them with David Brent. They wouldn't get it.
Yeah. When you like are mining a character, how much do you sort of like reference, I guess, like people do you, are you ever like imitating people you've met, or do you take things from people?
No, always. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a character. I mean, even this one in industry, I based this on a guy I went to school with who was super dodgy and had this kind of alluring charm where you think he's your friend, but you then have this sense of dread that you're in his debt. It's really scary, yeah. And that's my character. I'm a loan shark, and he plays a really nice, friendly character. This kind of wide boy Asian guy, but like kind of modern. And yeah, I based that on him. I did a character for Greg Davies' The Cleaner sitcom, where I played this guy who was like this little nerd, and I based him on a guy I used to work with. This amazing guy. He passed away actually. And I used to work in ingest, in broadcast. So, like you basically quality control TV. It was like watching TV for a living. It was amazing. But I used to work with this guy who'd been at the company for like 20 years, and he'd been demoted because he lost his eyesight. So he was working with all the fucking monkeys like me, all the shit munchers, and he's like really experienced. So he was the first one there, last one out, and he used to talk like this and be this close to the no, Asim, you've got that wrong. I'd give him a tape and he'll go, "Are you sure that's all right, is it?" And I think so, Justin. He's like, "Well, you missed out this decimal point here." And he said this one thing where he was like, "In this company, it's all about a dick size competition." And he goes, "But you know who's got the biggest dick? Me. And I'm going to fuck everyone." He would just ramble like this. And I was like, he's amazing.
Wow.
And then also a bit creepy. I remember this was obviously like 2012, a long time ago. And for some reason, me and this other table, we were talking about Miley Cyrus. Like she kind of transitioned into being like, sexy before she was.
When she was
and we were like, gosh, she's gone into this different style. And then we were all just chatting amongst us. And I was like, well, how old is she? And out of nowhere, Justin went, "She'll be 18 in November." And we're saying, so he was like this amazing.
That's incredible.
Amazing. And then all of this like sounds really seedy and horrible.
No, but
I got to know him.
the kind of thing you absorb though.
Well, I got to know him and he told me about how he cares for his mum and how his passion was photography, but he can't do it anymore because of his eyesight. And how all his siblings have kind of left him and he's left with his mum, and it's this kind of burden, but he loves his mum. And I found, and he trained me up. He taught me loads of stuff about the job, and he covered me a lot, and I really respected him. So when he died, he stopped coming into work for a couple of days, and he's never missed a day. He's one of those guys. And then I remember when the manager told us that he'd passed, and I never thought it'd hit me like that, because I was like, I used to take the piss out of this guy and be like, do impressions of him with everyone, and like, in a way, never to his face, but he was a fucking character. We went to his funeral and there was no one there, or none of his friends or family, only people from work. And another great character, because he was a bit of a rocker, Justin.
Yeah,
he was a bit of a kind of dark rock, kind of hard rock. And he had this other friend who worked in the department he used to work in, and he was like a real goth, like rocker, chains, but he would speak like a Shakespearean character. And he would go, "Justin, I've got us tickets for Corn this Saturday. Will you oblige me?" And he was two amazing characters. And he came to the funeral and did a speech. Oh. And I remember he was in his Shakespearean tone, even though he was, and he was saying it was to all these times that Justin did all these nice things for him. And he said, "I can't recall ever saying thank you to you, Justin." And then he thanked him, and it was like, it was so sad.
Really emotional.
Really emotional, right? So
how old were you then?
I was 2012. I don't know. I was 26, 25.
That's
but I used that character because he was perfect, because he was like really funny, nerdy, creepy, but had this depth to him and this story. And I used it as a reference.
Saw that, got to like see that depth, and then going to his funeral is like.
But you have to, I think, with all characters, because then they just become two-dimensional, funny voices. That's the same thing with Chabuddy. A lot of people ask me about, "Oh, do you think it's playing or stereotypes?" So I get this question, weirdly enough, mainly from white people.
It's actually that was my next question.
Yeah, no Asians have never, ever had a problem. But it's a valid question, because you're doing a foreign character with an accent, and obviously it's based on my dad. But I always say, like, if Chabuddy was just a funny voice or any character, that's what it would be. It would just be a TikTok. It's like, but no, you need to have depth.
But this is the thing, when you were saying that you lived those characters for that long, that's because they were so fully thought through. Like, to be able to do press as them, do live shows as them, it's like...
To be able to just take your finger and turn into them. That's me and the boys, we can all do that. And we actually loved it. It was actually a challenge. It was like, imagine you're working on a bit and you just get to rehearse and practice all the time, and real life stuff like live events, live TV, press, live shows, and you find little moments, and then the characters actually become even more three-dimensional, because you know how they would react on a live television show, or you know how they would react in a sports event. So it's like, it's all about living the character and the depth. And it's about the respect of the character. Like,
yeah, God. Yeah. So say when you guys won, you won quite a few BAFTAs. Did you win?
No, we won one, but we've been nominated a few times.
Yeah, but it was 1 year that you...
Yeah.
That night, when you'd have gone to like the after party, would you have been in character? No. Yeah.
It's weird actually, because we beat Fleabag. It was Fleabag season 1, and everyone thought, like, come on.
What did you think? Did you think?
No chance. No, but I was nominated
prepared a speech?
I actually prepared a speech because I was nominated for performance. And I thought, maybe I'll have a chance. I thought, none of us thought the show would have a chance, because we were against Fleabag season 1. I mean, come on. It was a cultural phenomenon. Everyone was like, she's going to win. So I kind of prepared somewhat of a speech thinking I might win, but I didn't. And then the show won, which was even a bigger surprise for us. And it was so, you'd think that on a personal level. Had you been nominated
before then?
Yeah, we had 2 years in a row, I think, and then we won. And I remember the year before, it was so degrading because the shows nominated were Peep Show, Peter Kay's Car Share, and People Just Do Nothing. And the guy who presented the award was like that Asian guy from IT Crowd. So he was like American, right? And he obviously, he kind of doesn't know these shows. Well, I assume he doesn't. And then when he was reading it, he kind of stumbled a bit and he went, and the winner is Pete. And I went, and he went, Peter Kay's Car Share. And I went, fuck.
Oh my God, because they all began with P. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh no. Imagine if you got up.
I know. Well, no, it got me on camera doing that. Fuck. Because I thought, why is he gaslighting me, the prick? Just tell me. You know what I mean? Peter Kay's Car Share.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. He didn't mean to do that.
So wait, sorry, the night that you did win, that night, did you get really fucked?
We got really fucked with Phoebe.
Love.
Phoebe and Cara Delevingne were there and they were celebrating with us. They were big fans of the show. And I remember Phoebe said something so nice to us. And she was like, I've seen you guys, because we were BBC Three. So we were out at the same time. It was like Fleabag, People Just Nothing, This Country. It was like that era.
An amazing era,
oh my God,
way.
some great shows. Yeah. And then we'd always see each other at events and, BBC comedy, whatever things. And she was so sweet. She was like, I always wanted to say hello to you guys. She goes, but you guys are so intimidating. She was like, you're a comedy gang. And we were like, we're not at all. Because, you know us, we're not in the comedy scene. We're not like Edinburgh boys. We're like just these fucking weird guys who just made something on YouTube. So she was so sweet. And we were like, what? And we were like, if anything, we were intimidated to speak to you. You're like, you've created Fleabag. Like, that's insane. I don't know. She was lovely. She's
amazing.
I think she went on to win the next 2 years.
But I guess it's also
because
you're like, what would have been sick is that you were doing it as a group of friends.
Yeah.
That's like when alternatively you are doing it alone.
Yeah.
And you're having to do all of those, winning awards is amazing. Not that I've ever won one, but you're alone. Whereas doing it as like a group of friends is amazing. And you all knew each other long before that?
Yeah, pretty long. Like college, college. And like Hugo and Steve known each other their whole lives. They went to school together. And then we all met around college, 15, 16. So I've known each other for years.
That's crazy.
It's a mental thing. But
it's
really
crazy.
Cool.
And what you just started putting stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
But were you like a DJ before?
I used to film and edit it all. Because I studied film, so I had a camera. I was doing music videos like for 200 quid a pop, like in car parks. And like weddings. I was just hustling basically. And then
music videos at weddings?
No. Like music videos and weddings. I remember I did this wedding for 300 quid and I was so shit. Like I ruined their wedding. And I was thinking like, who pays someone 300 quid to record their the most important day of your life? And you're getting some little 21-year-old twat with a camera to film it. I thought it's kind of your
like in Love
fault.
Actually, and she gets the footage and it's just like all close-ups of her. Yeah. That's what you were doing.
Literally.
Just like close-ups on there, and then so you just started filming you guys.
Yeah, we just filmed it, put it on YouTube. And then, we got a message from Ash Atala's producer, John Petrie, who's now the head of BBC Comedy. And he messaged me on my YouTube and just said, hey, I work for Ash. He made The Office. We think your stuff's amazing. And at the time, I thought, because I was getting a lot of spam and a lot of hate messages because the people thought it was real, because obviously it was the YouTube stuff is even more realistic because it's shot in a really shoddy way. Yeah. It looks really amateur, but like obviously you 100% believe they're real characters. So I'd get messages like, fucking chavs, get a job, all this stuff. And so when I got this message, I thought it was just a guy taking the piss because I was like, no way, he works for the guy who made The Office, whatever. And then so I just replied back to him, fuck off, mate, leave me alone. And he was like, no, please call this number. And I called him, it was real. We went for a message and then.
Oh my God, that's so funny. The first thing you said was fuck off.
Yeah, because I'd had enough. People were like messaging me all this shit. And I was like, why doesn't people get, some people got it. And I thought, great. But a lot of it was just abuse. And not abuse like this is shit, more like scumbags. It was like, we're not real. Yeah. But that was kind of a compliment as well.
Exactly. Low frequency, low vibrational people. They need to open their third eye.
Yeah.
Do you like going to parties? Would you say you're like a sociable person?
Yeah, I think I do. It's there's so many different types of parties though, aren't there? I think when I think in my head, prime party, like the greatest parties of all time, I would have to go back to like a New Year's Eve when I was like 17, house parties. I don't think there's anything better than a house party and a sporadic house party where you kind of don't know whose house it is, and you go from a friend of a friend and you get invited and you're just there and you're meeting all these people. I've never been to a house party where everyone's sober. Like everyone's always fucked. Doesn't matter what time you arrive at the house party. Everyone's fucked, and each room is like a festival. You know, you go into the room and there's some people doing some kind of drugs. You go to another room, it's the music room. You go to the other room, people are eating. You go to, it's the garden's another.
Oh God, it was just so fun.
I think the best.
And also living in London, I remember when I was a teenager, we'd end up in a part of London that I had never even heard of. Like, do you remember we went to Woolwich Arsenal on like one New Year's Eve? And I was like, where the hell are we? We got on like a DLR train. I'm just from North London.
DLR, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
London is so massive. That's the thing. You can live there your whole life and not really experience all
I know, because I remember the first time we went to Peckham was when we were like 17, and I was like, I'd probably not really crossed the river that much in my life. I've lived in Camden forever.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool. And then you'd be like, oh my God, we're in like a random house. I don't know. It was just not that fun anymore.
No. Well, that's what I mean. So if we're talking prime parties, legendary parties, I would say I would always go for the house parties. New Year's Eve, sometimes Halloween, but normally New Year's Eve was just that vibe. It was like, there was just this kind of chaos to it. And you weren't like, you're not even sure if you're supposed to be there. You could get kicked out. You know, you kind of don't want to be busted. And it's the kind of joy of not fucking up your own house or fucking up your friend's house. It's kind of
or fucking up a random person who you don't know whose family house.
And I've had a couple of sink pisses.
Yeah.
You was. Well, that's an interesting angle.
I once pissed in a bar.
That's all right though. For what about sink piss?
Yeah, I know. I didn't. I wasn't saying I've pissed in a sink. I was just like.
You understand?
I was approving of your behaviour.
Right, okay.
I wasn't saying I'm pissing in a sink.
I was about to say, that's very
But
good
I think
angles.
I probably could piss in a sink if I did like that.
Oh, we're back to the osteopath now. Bloody hell. Okay, now just piss? What? What is this part of? Recording. God, that is horrible. Like, I do like a good party. I think, obviously that sounds so boring, but as I get older, I just can't party as hard. Like I used to be like, I could like, even that night, oh my God, we got smashed that night.
I know, I was hungover the next
I was
day.
out of it like for the next 3-4 days. My missus couldn't even come to Steve's birthday the next day.
Yeah.
For Steve's 40th thing. She couldn't even come. And I was like, I was wounded the next day as well. I just felt like someone had shot inside my skull.
I know. And then I didn't do anything. Like I didn't achieve anything. I had loads of stuff to do that day and I just didn't do any of it. And then my screen time was like 9.5 hours.
Really?
So when I'm hungover like that, I just sort of sit there and just like scroll.
Doom scroll.
Yeah, it's awful.
Do your fingers, can I, wait, hold on. Have you got that dent in which hand do you hold your phone with? Are you right-handed?
No, I'm left-handed.
Well, can you see that dent in my pinky?
Yeah, I can.
That's from the phone.
Asim, that is crazy.
I know, because look, I've got so it's like that.
Wait, oh my God, I have got that.
Yeah,
wait, is
look,
that?
Can you check your pinkies? Have you got it?
I have got it. I've got it in this one. Look, feel that.
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah, I've got it.
Feel that one.
Oh my God.
You got it.
Because oh my God, that is the hand I hold it in.
Your baby's the only one who hasn't got it.
I'm done by now. Sticking in front of an iPhone.
Oh my God, that's really
doom scrolling.
Do you know what? In 100 years, humans aren't going to have hands.
Do you think
that's us
not evolve?
evolving.
That's surely devolved. That's
no, but
evolution.
that is us evolving to hold a phone. Like that's our body is evolving.
No, but what I'm saying is that really evolution.
Well, but
because
evolution
is that good?
But evolution doesn't always have to be good. It's just it's evolving with what's happening.
It's adapting. Your body's adapting.
So that is our body. Like the shape of our hand is adapting.
So our fingers are going to be like hooks, like that.
Yeah.
Our pinkies are going to be like
our
hooks.
hands will be like those things you just put your iPad on. That's what our hands are going to be like.
I would be surprised.
Well, we're all going to have wrist issues.
Yeah.
Like we're all going to be like that.
Yeah.
Just like holding our lost Mary babes. Well, everybody's getting repetitive strain injuries now from holding their phones all the time.
It's true. No, I feel it on my hands. I feel the arthritis. It's either that or the wanking.
Yeah.
It's a combination, I think. But I do feel it. Like my hands are like, that's why I had to get this little big nipple thing, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Because then but then I'm doing that. And I'm thinking, is that going to do something with that now? You know?
You should start at night time. I just go like this.
I do that, yeah.
Just check for any lumps.
Check for yeah, I can
but
check
I
for
go
lumps
like
down
that,
there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I go like that because my wrists get so stiff after a day of holding my phone.
Yeah. Someone could Photoshop this. It would look really weird. Just be a grace. Ah! Oh, God. That's getting... Gift that up. What's it called? Gift? Meme?
Gift that up.
Gift that up.
Give it up.
God,
Give it
such
up.
an old
You're
man.
so old.
Could you gift this up for
boomer.
me, please? Yeah.
Could you package this up in a
gift wrap it?
Could you
Get
just
it? Gift wrap. That's
wrap.
good.
Love that.
That is pretty good.
We'll put that on the floor, that bit. What's the phrase? What's the phrase? Cutting room floor. Yeah, cutting room floor. I'm so bad at phrases.
So am I.
I'm so bad at phrases. What did I try and say the other day? I was like, the smallest violin in the world or something. I was like, what's that phrase about the violin? Well, that is what it is. It's like the world's smallest violin. It's like when you're saying like Crimea River, basically.
Yeah.
Like
my dad does it all. My dad's been saying wrong things for like decades. He was just like the other year, he was going, instead of eat your heart out, he'd always say eat your ass out. And then he says something and he was like, I'll tell you what, mate, that Jeremy Clarkson, eat your ass out. And I went, oh, what did you say, Dad? He went, eat your ass out. I went, you know it's heart. He went, what? Literally like a 68-year-old man. He's been there since he's in his early 20s.
Has he been saying that to other people as well?
Says it all the time.
Oh my God.
It's just the first time. And he also, another one, my wife jots him down when he says stuff. He said the other day, because he's like doing dodgy kind of, not dodgy, but he's like selling clothes or something. I don't know what he's doing. Fake clothes. I don't know. Anyway, he was saying, he goes, so I've got a shipment coming in from Australia. And then I went, a what? And my wife told me later, she went, your dad said shipment. And I just put them straight into Chabuddy things. Like I did a Chabuddy G Love Island sketch for Comic Relief. And I put that straight in.
That's amazing.
Shipment.
That is amazing.
Like, you know.
I had a American person on my team who didn't know what nonce meant. And who thought nonce meant mate because he'd heard so many English people be like, oh, you fucking nonce. Yeah. And so he was calling people nonces, like in work settings. He was actually Canadian. I have to redact that because he'll be really upset if he listens to this. But he was calling people nonce. Then basically one day someone called him out on it and was like, you can't call people a nonce.
So a couple of my nonces are going to go to the pub tonight.
Oh, you fucking little nonce.
Ah, you're not. Are you my nonce? Are you my nonce? I mean, I thought he was my nonce.
Do you know what nonce stands for?
It's a prison thing, right?
Yeah.
Go on, tell me. Yeah, go on.
Not on normal courtyard exercise.
Right.
Yeah, because it was
brilliant.
It was.
I love that. About
they'd
us
write
Brits.
it on the. I know they would write it on the door. Not on normal courtyard exercise,
because
meaning
they would get murdered.
They would get battered if the
yeah.
paedophiles were out with everybody else.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Diddy's got NONCE on his door right now.
I love that word.
Yeah,
it's
same.
such a brilliant word, even though I know it means something, very dark. But it sounds fun, doesn't it? It sounds kind of bouncy and fluffy.
I love it as well because I also sometimes get in trouble because I will say, oh, he's a bit noncy about someone who's a bit creepy.
Right.
And then people will be like, oh, wait, is he a pedo? And I'm like, no, he's just got like a creepy energy.
Yeah,
like,
if he's a
noncy.
pedo, I'd call him a pedo.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't call him a nonce. They're different things. Come on, you nonce. Yeah.
What?
Nonce.
Noncy?
Really? Is there a lot of noncy
we just
chat
spoke
in
about
this?
Diddy once.
What about nonchalant?
Nonchalant.
Is that good?
Nonchalant. Yeah. Nonchalant.
Like you're noncy, but you don't care.
Yes, that's such a good one.
Good one?
He's a bit nonchalant. I love that.
Yeah.
Nonchalant.
Like Diddy was very nonchalant for many years.
Very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. Jimmy Savile.
He was the king of
nonchalant. Yeah.
We've created a new word, guys.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything on the topic.
No, I know.
We've created a new word.
Do you like hosting parties?
My wife loves her. So I would say that, like, even though you're probably gonna laugh,
Did you have a big wedding?
No, we had a town hall. We kind of did an excuse where we were like, town hall wedding, and we'll do a big wedding party on our 10 year, because we've been together for nearly 10 years now, 8 years. So on the 10th year of us being together, we're going to do a big wedding party. You're all welcome to come.
Thank you so much.
And we are going to do that. I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit of a Grinch when it comes to like hosting.
Lie.
I can't lie.
I can't lie.
Oh my God, did I say
can't lie.
I am becoming one
No,
of
you
those.
didn't say that. I just wanted you to say it.
I can't lie.
I can't lie.
I can't lie. You can throw a little leg at the end of it.
I can't lie.
I can't lie. And then it sounds like you're saying lilac. Lilac.
Yeah.
My favourite colour is lilac. I can't lie. I can't lie. There's that one as well. I heard that one the other day. I can't lie. A bit lies, a bit longer.
It would be so funny hearing like an American person trying to decipher what you're saying.
What's going on. Just nonsense. Yeah. I can't lie. They'll be like, Brits are weird. British people are weird people. But I love our culture. I think we are weird.
Yeah.
Like, we are weird. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I love seeing American people and British people interact because I think there's such hilarious differences.
Also, don't you think when you were younger, I always used to be like, oh, like to my parents, why didn't you come here? Why didn't you move to New York or LA? You're immigrants. You could have gone anywhere. You freshies. Why did you move to Hounslow? And then I watch TV and it's all American. I'd be like, I want to be American.
Same.
All the best music, the best films, the best food, everything in America. And now, like, I would rather, like, literally go to see that osteopath every day than to live in America.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
Same. It's
like,
terrifying.
And then you just like, you fall in love with your own culture. Like, British culture is hilarious. Our sense of humor. Yeah, we know it's shit. We know it's raining. We know it's like violent and it's, you know, dangerous in London or whatever. But honestly, like, I fucking love it. I love London. I love being British. I love being from London. I love it. That's the thing I love the most.
Being from London is like, I'm so glad.
Just like a big city. I think if you live in a big city, it doesn't even matter if it's London, whatever, Manchester, Paris.
It does, I believe.
You really feel like a Londoner. Like, I know that sounds cringy, but like, I've never really felt fully British. I've never ever felt fully Pakistani. And I've always felt like a Londoner. I've never been to, no one's ever been like, you're not a Londoner, you don't belong here. It's just like, we don't give a fuck if you belong here. If you come here and you contribute, add to the vibes, you're a Londoner. Like, I love that about
And when
London.
I go away and then come back, I always feel so excited about coming back to London.
So do I.
No matter if it's like this.
I miss it.
Same.
I miss it so much.
But you were talking about your wedding.
Yeah.
We just went on a tangent. But you were talking about, so you didn't want to have a big party. And you were saying, I can't lie. I don't think at the 10-year anniversary you're going to want to do it. Is that what you were going to say?
You got a good memory. I can't lie. I think I will.
That's why it keeps happening, because it keeps distracting me.
We got to tell. I can't lie. I would say, I think I'm one of those guys, I dread it all. I hate the organizing. I'm like, I worry about who's going to be there. Are they going to get on? Will we have enough food? Where's everyone going to sit? Oh my God, we need to make sure everything's clean, hide all the embarrassing stuff. And then when the party's swinging, I'm like life and soul.
Don't want it to end.
And I'm like, I don't want it to end. And I'm entertaining and I'm like fucking loving it. And I'm like, actually, why don't we do this more? But then the minute they leave, I'm like, never, ever again. So it's like, I'm very in the moment.
It's quite Larry David.
Yeah. Never again once they leave. I'm like, I don't want anyone to enter this house. And I think what that is, I'll speak to my therapist about it, unpacking it with her. She, as a performer, as you know, we have to be on a lot of the time. So when you go out of the house, not just on, you have to also be, I'm not being like, I'm famous, but like, obviously you get stopped in the street, you'll have to kind of perform, you have to give them kind of something, you know, and you feel bad if you don't. And then, you know, all kinds of stuff, auditions, meetings, like you have to be on, right? Podcasts, you have to be on. So then like when I go home, I'm like so exhausted because I am on all the time. And then I just want to like relax. And I'm one of those people that I never get bored. So that I could be on my own like forever and I'll just never get bored. I've got like 50 to 100 films on my watch list from Letterboxd that I need to watch that I always make. There's a cat up there.
Oh, thank God my dog's not.
I have so much music to listen to. I have so many things I want to write. I have like, I never get, I think only boring people get bored.
I love that. That's my favorite line.
Right?
I never get bored.
Yeah, I can tell.
I love my own company.
I love it. So when people come, I also love their company with me, but I would also prefer to be on my own because I think I need to recharge. Like I think you're so.
Do you think you're an introvert? What is it? I am an extroverted introvert, which means like I actually need to be alone for like 80% of my life. In order to be on for the 20%.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I don't think I'm an extrovert. I think I am just an introverted performer.
Yeah.
Because I think all my extroverted stuff is is either performing. I tell you what I do like, and this is going to be very on theme actually, on brand. I would prefer to go out with like not one of my best friends, but like some friends I know, like who are like kind of on a party people. Like, I don't know their mum, put it that way.
Yeah.
But I know them for years, and I call them up and I go, is there any motives tonight? Right? And I'll go out maybe with like one of my boys, right? And we'll go out. I like those kind of nights. They're not complicated. I know I'm not going to be in the beer garden chatting about, some trauma with a really good friend of mine. That I want escapism sometimes. So I like those kind of
and
nights
then it's
sometimes.
so much easier to leave if you're out with people who you don't know that well, because it's just like, I'm going.
Also,
and no one can be like, why are you going?
Also, I'm that guy who I will find a new crowd of people like at a festival.
Yeah.
I will find a new crew and chill with them all night. And then I like doing that. Like I think sometimes when you're out with friends, it's great and everything, but there's so much baggage with friends. They're so old. So you've known each other for years. Everyone's so stressed. I can't lie. Like, I don't really want to hear your problems.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've got so many on my own. Like, I'm trying to sort out. When I'm like, and I'm working so hard, when I want to go out, sometimes I just want pure escapism, just very surface level shit. Do you know what I mean?
I totally get that. And I think that often it's like when you put a group of people who know each other really well together, it sometimes does just feel like group therapy. Well, at least for female friends. I'm sure, is it the same with you?
I think with men, sometimes it's worse because men can't talk about their feelings when they're sober, a lot of men. Especially my boys, like Hounslow boys, Asian boys, who like, therapists, that's gay, mate. None of them have therapy.
And then they'll get drunk and
talk about their, their dead dad for 4 hours. And I'm like, shut the fuck. It was 4 years ago. Get over it. He's dead. I'm joking. I don't say that. I can't get over it.
That's like, there's a line I'm sure you don't know this reference, but it kills me every time I watch it. In Princess Diaries, there's a bit where Anne Hathaway's dad's died and the best friend's like, he died like a month ago. You're still not over that. And I think about it all the time. Like, what writer thought that was okay?
Well, it's like Larry David tries to use it as, when his mum dies, he tries to use it as an excuse forever.
Yeah.
And once he tries to use it to have sex with his wife, it's so weird. He's like, my mom died. It's like 8 months ago. She's like, what? I definitely do like the kind of trouble-free night sometimes. But don't get me wrong, sometimes I love nothing better than a soulful night with my boys. And yeah, we might have a 5-hour chat about all our problems. But it's not just that. We'll also be laughing and reminiscing and taking the piss out of each other. We might cry. I love those nights too. I just can't do them that much because
so draining.
It's really draining. And as you get old, when you're younger as well, I think sometimes you enjoy that drama because there's not much going on in your life. A good day for me now is when nothing happens. Like no one calls me up with any drama. There's no emergency. There's no crisis. Just a normal fucking boring day.
Do you feel you have enough of those days?
Oh, I have so many of them.
Okay.
Like not me, myself, but fucking people around me. Like, like I said, I've got loads of young people around me. My little sister, my little brother. There's always some shit going on with him.
Yeah, well, that's it kind of never ends though with teenagers because they're all having a drama.
They love the drama, and then I think it's because there's nothing else going on in their lives. Like they love the drama.
Yeah, but I used to love drama. Oh my god, I used to love drama, and now I did. I used to love it, and I used to love conflict as well. I think when I was
that is drama. That's like something happening.
I loved conflict, and now the idea of having an argument, like I can't. It sends me so west. But I think it's because I'm so tired. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
I once saw a psychic who said this thing to me, which was really interesting, where she said, "Don't have more than 2 drinks around people who you think have negative energy. Because what happens when you are drunk is people with a bad energy, they attach their shit onto you. 100%. You absorb their shit. And that can sometimes make your hangover even worse. Because the next day you wake up and you're like, I feel like I've taken on that person's trauma and pain, and then I don't know how to like resolve it the next
100%.
day. So that's
I wouldn't even drink. I wouldn't even be around them. I hate that energy. It's like so selfish as well. It's like, I get it if it's a back and forth thing, but sometimes when people are just speaking at you about their problems And like a lot of their problems, I'm like, most of that's your fault. You don't want me to say that, do you?
Sounds
you just
like
want
a
me
you
to
problem.
Yeah. But like it's a lot of shit that you've done.
Yeah. No, I know.
But you want to play victim.
Yeah.
And you want to tell me
to feel sorry for you
how
and make
everyone's
you feel
wronged
better.
you and tell me how validate you. I'm like, exhausting, draining people.
I know, but then I think sometimes people who are like that don't know that they are like that. That's the problem.
What was the saying? It's like you're either a charger
you're
or
either Susie says this.
Charger
Susie says you're either. Oh my God, Susie says it so well. I always text her and ask her what it is. Something about a radiator. You're either a radiator or.
No.
Yeah, that's another one. But Susie has a good one about like a radiator or I can't remember what it is.
Radiator.
Oh, I swear it's radiator.
Sounds wrong.
I'm sure Susie has one, which I love. And I remember the first time she said it, I was like, that is so true. You either give energy or you take it.
Basically, yeah. You either charge a phone or you...
Yeah, you're either an iPhone or you're a charger.
What? Yeah.
You're either
a
toaster or a piece of toast.
Yeah.
You're either a microwave. No. It's something like you either give the heat or you take it, basically.
Basically.
But I agree. And we're obviously both the givers of energy.
Yeah, I get, but then the thing, even the givers need to be careful because then you leave nothing for yourself. And that's what that whole thing about recharging at home and being alone and solitude. Like, I'm married, but my wife knows I need alone time.
That's so
she
good
knows
though,
that.
so that she just accepts it.
Well, I wouldn't say she accepts it because she needs people's energy. She's the opposite. She's you met her.
Yeah, I love her.
She's an extrovert, so she needs people's energy and she can't be at home. She will get bored. She needs to go out and do stuff and see people and, she's full of life. And me, I'm full of death. No, I'm joking. No, I'm like, like I said, I know this sounds really bad, but I think it's also really healthy. I don't think you should ever rely on anyone else for your own happiness. So if I was like, I love my wife and she makes me very happy, but I don't need her for my happiness. I'm not like, I need my wife, I'm sad. Like, I've never ever been like that with anyone. I know
that's so healthy though.
It's really healthy.
Do you think you were just always like that?
I've always been like that since a kid because I've always been a weird little creative kid sitting and doing things and making things and being creative and finding real joy in that, and like music and gaming and writing and wanking,
love.
And literally anything that makes you happy, you should find that, because what you find joy in as something that you don't need other people for. Wanking. I know I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm like, anything that you don't need people for and you can rely on yourself, that's really healthy.
But also, I agree. And I feel like I definitely feel now like so content on my own. I used to be so dependent on like male attention. I hated being single. And then I got a dog and that made me feel so much less alone. And if I just hang out with my dog, that's a good day.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's quite hard to get to that point for a lot of people because lots of people are needy and would require. So it's kind of lucky that you were you just always been that way. You
don't need a king to be a queen.
Wow.
Period.
Wow.
Is that right?
And that's on period.
On period? You're on your period.
What do they say? That's on period.
I'm on my period.
I can't lie.
Right?
No, they go, and that's on period. That's what they say.
I once was with this girl and her gay best friend, and they were like really lovely, and I was like, trying to fit in, like I was with Ian Wright. And then he was like, get it, bitch, like that. And then I kind of learned that, and I was like, okay. And then she did something else. She did a little pose, and I went, ooh, get it, you bitch. And then she went, what? And I went, because but it was fine when he said. She went, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I went, sorry.
It's also the you, adding you, bitch.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I messed up
it
on.
It completely changes
No, I know. Get it, you bitch.
Get it, you little bitch. Go, you little bitch.
Yeah, you're on your period, you bitch. What? Sorry, he said it. He said that's on period. Get it, bitch. Oh, right. What's the difference? You're on your period, you bitch.
You little bitch. You're on your period, you dirty little bitch.
Hey, come on. It's the intention there.
We end the podcast with me asking you, if you wanted to leave a party, what would your excuse be?
I might do your one, actually. I'm about to shit myself. I actually did get caught bunking once in school, and I did say to the teacher, I said, sir, I shat myself. I have to go home. And he was like, oh, really? He was like, so if I call your mum up, she'll confirm that. I was like, do you think I told my mum that? So embarrassing, sir. So I didn't tell anyone.
That's a good
lie.
lie.
It was one and done though. You can't ever use that again.
I can't lie.
I can't lie. Oh, I can't lie, sir. I kind of shit myself still. I can't lie. They say I can't lie, but then they will lie.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. I can't lie. Insert lie.
Yeah, it's like when people say like not to be rude, but and then say like the most heinous thing about someone.
I'm not being racist, but stop the boats. Yeah. Always the way.
All right, Asim, thank you so much.
Thanks,
that
Grace.
was the most fun.
Thank you.
That was so fun.